We have been at work here. We have been really, really working these energies with being sick and going through things, being sick in an RV with my husband, soon to be ex-husband. And on top of that, I am receiving huge upgrades and healing, and God has been forcing me to rest. And I feel these energies so much, and I want to share, I want to teach, I want to love, I want to give, because that's who I am as a soul. But I've also got to take time to really take care of me and to heal my vessel, my heart. So we're keeping a balance, I have been sad. I've been really going through this alchemy, but all the while I'm receiving higher alignment from my highest self. I'm receiving codes and leveling up in my consciousness. But it's just a balance that we keep, and I am being upgraded in my sleep. While I dream at night, they are quantumly helping me to remember and to master the simulation. And also remembering that I have the power. And it was never not my power. And no matter what the devil does to try to have me feeling powerless in this world, I am protected. And that all of this is happening for me, not to me. So I'm just learning to master my energy and to teach others to master their energy too. So we can all heal from the ways of the old paradigm and begin the new. So there is so much we signed up for in our soul missions here, and it's been a lot for our earth selves to keep up with, because this has been light speed ascension. We did not know who our souls were until we knew who our souls were, and then everything changed in our lives. Everything. So here we are, and life has been brutal, but we made it. And we're strong, we're unshakable. The devil has done its worst to destroy us, and we're still here, we're still going, we're getting stronger, in fact. And sometimes the devil will do stuff to try to lower us or weaken us. It'll usually try to attack, closest to us. If it can't get into our own thoughts, then it'll use our loved ones to try to get to us. It'll use anything that it can to hack in and penetrate us. But it is so that we can truly know our protection and sovereignty with Source, that they cannot take what you do not consent to. And when you truly know your Creator, you truly know God, you truly know Source, then you know that you are protected. They don't have anything on you. They work so hard on us, and we have always been very plugged in and connected since babies. But, you know, of course we had to go through this hell matrix where they don't treat our gifts like gifts. They treat them like problems. You know, they tried to control us from a very young age. They tried to distort us and get us to shrink into one of their boxes. And, you know, it was hard. It was hard. And I smile and I say that. You know, but I mean, I've healed it. So I can do that. You know, but I've got an incredible story that I've lived, and my life, you know, it is still in motion. You know, I'm still living this. And, you know, I get to share and to talk about it and to keep you along for the ride. You know, if you want to come along for the ride, like, you know, we're all going through this together. And we are all unified in our light. We are all here on divine mission. And, you know, there's only love in our hearts. There is no resentment, or, you know, we have completely forgiven, and we understand that the devil it was a system created to activate and train God's warriors. And as messed up as it is, you know, we're here to expose it and to take away its power, to deactivate it, because it never had power in the first place. It had the power that we gave it. And we can choose to heal. So it has no power over us. There's nothing for it to lock onto. We have no shame. Why would we have shame when we are so beautiful inside and out? We are made in God's image. And we are here to bring heaven to earth. It's raining now. So I had to channel, so I came out here. So my husband was giving me some low energy, soon to be ex-husband, yesterday. Last night. And, you know, it really made me pray to God. And it was beautiful. They really came to me in my dreams last night with some big upgrades and quantum knowledge, helping me unlock past limitations and open myself more fully Like we are activated, we are unlocked, and we are actively working our miracles and healing with God. We are the chosen ones. So my candle went out and it's really raining. I just got here. But I'm excited. I'm excited. And I'm tired of living in a world where people in the 3D try to put me in a box. Where Agent Smiths just can't stand my divine truth, and they do anything they can to distort my image and to shrink me. We broke the matrix. You are an expired software program, and people are waking up and they're starting to see through it. Nothing and no one can ever steal our divine inheritance. They can try to replicate the light, but they can't be it. Because we went through the fire. They can talk the talk, but they cannot walk the walk, because we walk through fire to get here. And we still will walk the fire. But we do not give up. We do not quit. We do not surrender. Only to God. Only to God do we surrender. Satan can have us surrounded, but we will still win, because we are the light. All their misdeeds are being exposed. We can see these entities clear as day, and how they have infiltrated our lives and in humanity as a whole. And we are able to heal it with love. We can heal anything. And it's time for us to do that. All of us who have been fed faulty programming. And that is everyone in this world. But salvation is within, and all you have to do is turn to that light, that holy fire in your heart, and work with God to freeing your soul. As you are an angel, you are divine. And you are not limited. You are loved. I gotta find some shelter, I think, so let's go find some shelter. Actually, I'm gonna get my microphone on. There's not much for shelter over here, to be honest. See, like the awning in the bathroom. This is a big park too. I'm surprised they don't have any kind of pavilion. I could hardly wait to get here and to do a video. I just want to work. I just want to do soul mission. That's all I want to do is soul mission. And because we're changing this world that needs to be reprogrammed badly. And God is helping us to do it. So we get to do this amazing, incredible alchemy with God and change this world dramatically and be the heroes, that this world needs. So I'm in love with God. I'm in love with healing. I'm in love with the process and coming home to the love that never left me, even when I didn't feel worthy of it and when I didn't love myself. It was always there. And, it's hard for me, really, in this life after knowing God on such a level, because no mortal man could ever truly compare to the love that I have with Source. This tree is giving me shelter right now. Thank you, tree. Yes, tree hugging is everything. We love trees. We love all plants and animals, all souls in this universe. I get rained on. At least I have my hot tea. I think that'll be very cozy. My chamomile tea. And wherever I find this little awning to camp out at. So, okay, God, we were ahead of our time on this, big time. And that was by design. God, we signed up for a really big soul mission on Earth. And, we've been really trying to work this to liberate and free humanity for a long time. And throughout that long time, God's been working on us and master crafting us to be stronger and better and more wise, more aware, more plugged in, more aligned and skilled. As we've been going throughout this divine alchemy, we've also been battling spiritual warfare in our lives. The devil did everything it could think to try to stop us or to slow us down. But, we are God's warriors. We have been through many, many storms in our lives that we know their games, we know their tactics, we know their tricks. And the thing is we'll still let them go and see how much they're willing to bury themselves, to see how far they're willing to go, because we know we're so protected. And, we get to be their karma, because the devil can't resist. The devil can't resist but to try to test us, or to try to take away our power. But, it's not working for it. I may be sick right now and going through difficulties in my marriage and in my living situation, and in my financial situation and things in my life. But I know that I am attached to such a higher plan that God has for me, that I know that I'm putting in the work and that I'm growing and I'm leveling up, and I am higher aligning my life with my soul mission every single day. Because we're here for a reason, and God worked hard on us. We cannot shrink ourselves. And it's time for 3D to wake up. And not all of them have to accept chosen ones, but chosen ones have to accept chosen ones. Ooh, it's a little too hot. I'll burn my tongue. I love this cup, but it keeps it really hot. So I think words are really powerful, and we should be careful what we speak when we're, in the heat of the moment. Sometimes we can say things to others that we don't quite fully mean, or, be hurtful on one another. And I think, I just don't want to be here and be mean. I don't want to be mean to anybody. But I will call out toxic behavior. But I do it from a constructive place. I do it from love, not from ridicule. So many people are in this world still acting out in their own programmed limited thoughts and belief structures. And there are many men out here that hate women and try to reduce us and shrink us and siphon from us and be predatory on our divine energy, to try to use us for their own ego. And they don't realize that they're messing with something sacred. They don't realize that they're messing with something that they shouldn't be messing with. So Satan has really done a lot to try to infiltrate our lives and to separate the divine feminine and the divine masculine. But it's just it's just gonna be so much is coming through right now. We can heal it and have healed it in the quantum realm. And by releasing all animosity, there can be no ill will towards anyone or anything. Because it was all added to our alchemy. It was all for us to know ourselves and to take back our power and be better people. So, people may disappoint us. We may go through separation, loss, and things in life. That's life. And we go through a lot of that. But, our souls are eternal, and we are so much more than just this physical world. The love we give is counted for, and sometimes the love that we give really needs to be given in a more broad sense. Our souls are so abundant that we shouldn't just be giving to one person, especially if that person isn't living in alignment with God, in gratitude, and they're not paying that energy forward. Instead, they're being toxic to it and to us. So love will be thought of in a more without attachment. And we're going to live in a world where everyone is not in want or need for basic necessities of health and wealth. Being able to have the things they need, have a place to live, have healthy, clean water, healthy food, proper I don't even want to say education, but proper wisdom and guidance in their life journeys, where we can really restore the divine order and balance this universe the way that God wants us to, the way to our divine design, because we are all alchemists and we can rewrite ourselves of the false programming and align ourselves to God's highest will. Through ascension, we all get to be free. And that's how we win. God has always put it within us to do that. And that this is a beautiful time for us because we're going into the golden age. And healers are the leaders of this new paradigm. And we are chosen. And God has given us the light because we walked through darkness. You know, there may be many tests in our lives and things that the devil's done to try to take us down and destroy us and to dim us. But we're here on a divine mission. And God is using us as vessels. And that the devil's deeds can't stop us. They've already tried their worst. They've already tried their worst. And that they can do things to try to run us down, to weaken us, to siphon from us in our lives, you know, to try to fill us with doubt. You know, we see their dark agents and we hear them. But we are so completely in our truth with God that they have no power over us. And, you know, being so open about my life and about the struggles is part of that. Bringing the darkness to light. Because we have to empower our people to normalize these conversations and to talk about the enemy, the entity, and how it will try to prey on our weaknesses. So we have to rise, we have to be strong, we have to heal. You know, that way that they can't do anything to try to stop us or slow us down or keep us off of our mission. So I wish there was more covering here, but oh well. So we are unstoppable. We are unstoppable. And I'm completely in a space where I'm free. That the devil can't shame me because there's nothing to be ashamed of. My growth has surpassed all past versions of myself and past timelines that they have worked extremely hard on me. Extremely hard on me. I am a sacred vessel. And I am mission activated and full of mission codes. And, you know, if I am considered too much because of my authenticity and shunned for it, and because I trigger others, then, you know, that I'm never seen in my life because of my light. And then I will accept that. But I just think it's a shame because I see unlimited potential for us. And I have the codes to help us to evolve to our sovereignty. We are literally quantum creators. So the divine rhythm of this world through God is for us to be high vibrational, happy, healthy, and aware of our sacredness, that we want to be embracing all that loves us back. We want to hug trees. We want to enjoy holistic medicines and teas and plant medicines and form a bond with our plants as we use their medicines that deepens our connection and the love vibration in our vessels. We have to have land and have gardens and love our land, love all spirits on earth. And plants have spirits. Animals have spirits. And we have to love our land. We have to love our vessels and love each other and love our animals. And I've been vegan for a very long time in my life. And, you know, I think that that is one of the reasons that I have gone so light speed in my ascension. After I quit smoking cigarettes and quit drinking and, you know, all pharmaceuticals and self-medication, you know, it really started going fast. And also discovering plant medicine, using cannabis and psilocybin, having some journeys, having some microdosing and things. It's all been very helpful in our ascension. But most importantly is our love for God, because that is why we do all of these things. And, you know, because it deepens our connection to source, and that's why we want it. That we get to be so close to God, we get to be in alignment with who we really are, because we get to see ourselves the way that God sees us, as souls, as beautiful, eternal beings of pure love. You know, and we realize how sacred we are, and how amazing it is to be here and to be chosen, and to be so completely in alignment with our mission. Even though the world is still catching up to us, we understand that, and we know that, and we are still being the light and shining and putting the love out there, because it's needed, and that the seeds that we sow will will sprout, it will come to harvest, and that there will always be a harvest. There will always be a harvest. It doesn't matter how long it takes, there will be a harvest. And as long as we're here, we're serving God. We're serving humanity. And we get to be vessels for God's love. So, I surrender all fear, all limits, all lack. The devil can't get me to stay small, to shrink myself and to feel disempowered. Like I can look at my life from the outside perspective and I'm like, wow, 42, going through divorce, unemployed, had a brain injury, had many injuries, massive trauma throughout her life, repeated attacks from the devil. She's targeted by the enemy. She's had so many things against her, and childhood abuse and things that she went through because she was targeted by the devil. And God, it looks really, really hard for her. She lives in an RV, doesn't have a land, hasn't united with her tribe. She hasn't found her soul family fully in the earth realm, like on in the ground game. And that's like, how could she win? How could she? How could she? With everything against her, but we are winning. Here we are. We're winning. We're winning. And while the devil was out attacking us and trying to destroy us, God was building us from within. Even through the struggles and the obstacles of our lives, we got stronger. We took those things to God. And God brought them to light. And we see through. We see fully through the veil and the deception that has happened on planet Earth. And with great power comes great responsibility. And we know that. And we do not take our mission lightly. I am always working, even in my sleep. And the world is ready for something new. And they are ready to return to source, to remember who they are. And to heal this world. All right. I am fully aligned and integrated with God, with Source, in my healing, working my highest mission. I have made many sacrifices for this. God has master crafted my wings for such a time as this. We struggled and struggled and struggled to escape that cocoon, that cage. And we are free. We are flying into infinity. When humanity really, and I think we're right there, when you really truly see yourself through God's eyes and through God's heart, you will see that you are the light. You are the light. That is why darkness was out to destroy you. But you are one with God. And nothing and no one could ever contain your soul. And yes, we did leak power along the way. And we trusted many who were not really for us. We still remained strong and hung in there and let God work on us. We've faced every battle. And though it came close, it could never break us. So I just want to say that I love you. And I get annoyed with people in the earth realm because of the programming that they have sometimes. But, I have to respect my energy, and I realize that, my energy is not for everyone. Not everyone's aligned with source the way that I'm aligned with source. And I have to protect myself in this world from vampires, as I'm a sacred vessel for God to use for a higher soul mission on this planet, to help lead the age of light and get humanity to freedom. The real salvation is God. We all have to find that first. And then we have to come together. Come together and create the age of light. That's how we destroy the old, is we create the new. And everyone will want to be us. They will want to join us. They will want to be part of us. Because they'll see how high vibrational we are, how healthy we are, how happy we are. While they're still running around in that hamster wheel getting nowhere. Just barely scraping by, getting less than they deserve, being used for slave labor to feed Satan, no less. To feed the old systems, the beast system that was created to siphon our energy and keep us enslaved to them. They have no power except for the power that we feed them. I'm gonna need some help in this. I'm gonna need help. I'm gonna need help in the physical. So I'm living so many miracles, I shouldn't even be alive. And I can't do everything. I can't be everything. I need money. I need resources. I need to make a living and be doing my soul mission. And I won't compromise on this. My soul came here to do a lot, but if I'm still shunned for my light, or if we're not fitting into people's religious dogmas, if I don't say Jesus Christ enough, and yes, Jesus is my Lord and Savior. I love Jesus, and Jesus has chosen me. It's one thing to say Jesus Christ, and there is power in the name, even though Christ wasn't really his last name, or Jesus. um, saying his name is one thing, but I walk the path of Jesus. I walk the path of an ascended master. I am in alignment with God's highest will. And you can choose to see my light or not. But don't tell me that I need to say his name every 5 seconds in order to be considered palatable to your own dogma. You know, there were many ascended masters. Jesus was not the only one. And he will not be the only one. We're here. And we walk the path with Jesus. We are eternal with Jesus, with God, with Source. And that we are all one in this journey, in this mission, in the light. You know, I realize that our light needs to shine. And I'm surrendering to God's highest mission here, even though I didn't want to do this. You know, I'm battling myself here. But I'm doing it for love. I'm doing it for a better world. It's not that we didn't want to do it, it's that we were always on mission. We were always here to save the world. We were always working this out in the quantum, but coming out and using social media and speaking in videos and coming out of the spiritual closet fully and announcing ourselves to a world that isn't always very nice to us. It's like, it's rough. It's been rough. Being a divine feminine in a world that is so patriarchal and programmed against us, how much we've had to fight and battle this enemy that just people don't even realize what we go through. But we love you. And, you know, we are the light. We keep shining. And some days that's brighter, some days it's more dim. It really depends on our energy and what's happening in our lives, because we're trying to keep a balance with it all too. But that we stay committed. And that our mission, no matter what happens in our lives, our mission is what matters most. And that we're here to higher align our lives with that mission and to do more and to continue to grow and do more. As long as I'm here, I will not give up on humanity. I will not give up on the dream. We have infinite potential and we should be doing better. We should be doing better. Um, so let's create it. Let's build it. Let's create the new and get off the old. So I am asking and calling for the universe to open and unlock and unblock financial freedom in my life. We've graduated, and we no longer need the struggle. I am here saying thank you for the strength that my struggles gave me along the way. But we are no longer accepting that old storyline. We are the creators, and we are manifesting higher timelines for our lives and for the world. We are not coming from a place of scarcity and lack, but we are coming from a place of eternal and infinite abundance with Source, with God, with Creator. And we will have our new earth sanctuary. We will have a home. We will have lots of homes. We will have beautiful healing hubs all throughout Gaia, places where we can connect with Mother Earth and heal our bodies and let go and purge the parasites and rise to our true divine potential. We will correct the course of evolution for humanity and set Mother Earth free. We are all ascending together as one. And we are co-creating New Earth. So, I'm really calling out for the angels and soul family, ascended masters, God, Jesus, Yeshua, Yahweh, to come through, to support us, and to support the liberation of humanity. We love you with all of our hearts, and our devotion is evident. And also, you get to support helping me to higher align my life with God's mission and getting out of my toxic marriage and doing my healing and getting out of, I living in an RV where it's just not my home. It's not where I belong. I don't even have a bathtub, and I'm a Pisces. Taking a bath, like being sick and not having a bathtub, not being able to soak in some Epsom salts. I am grateful for all the blessings I have, and I light my candles. I have my altar. I like to dress nice and cute and make myself feel good and anoint myself with essential oils and perfumes, and I stay clean and my appearance and my home. Yeah, I take care of my vessel. I take care of myself. And I deserve a life that reflects the love that I put in. And I'm always a vessel of love. No matter where I go or who I'm with. Though we have to have boundaries to obviously exist in this world. Our energy is sacred to God, so we have to have boundaries. But yeah, we are always present as our highest selves. But when we feel the suck, we energetically protect. Yeah, I was so excited about my dreams last night, and the fact that I slept until 3:50. I think 3:40. I was working through something. They were working on me all night and getting these upgrades, and that quantum gifts are lit up. My chakras are aligned. Even through being sick, they're just working on me even harder. And it's no coincidence that I got sick. They did it so they could work on me. All right. I'm gonna go, and I didn't do a TikTok today, so I should do a TikTok, but we'll see. I'm just happy for what God's doing and what's unfolding in this world. And, I'm not here for the money, obviously. There's a lot of things in this life that would pay a lot more than what this has given me so far. But what I have is priceless, and my soul is sacred and it's not for sale. So I'm just gonna keep being loyal and obedient to God and trust the universe to provide as we go. I'm not here to be in the Shark Tank. I've already done that, been there, done that, and we're still here. We're still Even, but we didn't just survive, but we found out we were warriors all along. And, we're here to do more. And to really use our energies for higher alignment and higher purpose. And so we'll see. I am open to receiving all the blessings and love that the universe and God wants to bring. And I am an open vessel for source and for higher healing to happen, as I only want what God wants. And I live my life to serve His highest will. So whatever that may be, I accept. And I know that I am loved and that it's all happening and unfolding in God's perfect divine timing. And we get to help heal this place. We get to do this. It's not like we have to do this. We get to do it. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful to serve and to be able to heal these ancient curses and higher align our lives with our true soul missions for being here. We walk a harder path because we have a higher purpose. And through the pressure that we went through, God formed us into diamonds. God's best was saved for last. And we're still going. Imagine how far we've come now. And I imagine what it can look like when we are free from the other chains, free from the financial stuff, free from the matrix, free from misaligned connections and marriage, free from any limited belief that we ever placed on ourselves. How far we've come, but how far we could go. We're here to go all the way to infinity and beyond. And God is leading us there. So, yeah, I'm not in control, God is. And God will make a way where there is a way needed. Don't worry about anything. Just do your best. Spend your energy wisely. Be a good person. Support light workers who are out here going through and battling the attacks from the dark forces to bring light to this world, to bring our highest selves through and create healing in the quantum realm so that we can heal on earth too. Links are below. I love you. Mosquitoes are getting me, so it's time for me to get out of here. God bless you, and namaste to you, soul family. 144. Eternal love. My soul has loved you for a long time. Let's continue to rise and unite and bring forth our missions of light. Bye.